Hello again, welcome back to the Football Spy Show, sponsored by our friends at Renault Vans. We start with negotiations between Liverpool and Hamburg for the services of the winger Eljero Elia. According to the German Daily Bild, Elia's club want around £12.5 million for him, but Liverpool have so far offered only £9.2 million. I'm not sure if he's actually that good, to be honest. We'll find out soon enough. Now, we're also hearing that Chelsea are ready to sign the Ajax striker Luis Suarez, or at least join the race to sign him, and that should send his price through the roof. In case you didn't know, he's scored a staggering 110 goals in 154 games for Ajax, which is a goals return that had Spurs sniffing around last summer. Earlier this month, the word was out that Ajax were prepared to accept around £17 million for the striker, but the word coming out of Spurs was that Harry Redknapp wasn't quite sure about him. Liverpool have since joined the race and have been quoted £20 million. But now that Chelsea have gone in for him, his price tag could become a lot more expensive. I'd still put Spurs at the head of the queue, as he looks more likely to play regularly there, and he'd play Champions League football. I know he obviously would do at Chelsea as well, but I just wonder if Drogba and Anelka would be hard to shift from the first team at Stamford Bridge. Now, still lots of you asking me for news on Chelsea transfers. So how about this? The Blues are in for the Ajax fullback Gregory van der Wiel, according to their sporting director Frank Arneson. He's been speaking to the Ajax Life magazine about the 22-year-old fullback, and this is what he had to say. There's currently not much to say about it. Our priority is now a central defender with Alex injured. Gregory is on our #1 list, but not currently at the top. It is serious, but nothing will happen until the summer. Well, we'll see about that, because obviously AC Milan very interested in Jose Bissouma. Now, the battle continues for this man. His name is Demba Ba, and he's been called an unprincipled hustler for going AWOL in his bid to force a move away from his club Hoffenheim. But he doesn't care what they call him, neither do a few clubs in the Premier League. West Ham already made a £6 million bid for him, and now Stoke have moved in with a bid of £5.9 million, rising to £8 million. Hoffenheim, they won a staggering £15 million for the 24-year-old striker, but Stoke believe they can reach a compromise, and they actually think they can tie up a deal before the weekend. Stoke also win for the Aston Villa defender Curtis Davis, and they're ready to give the centre-back the chance to resurrect his career. Now, we've been keeping you up to date with the Aston Villa pursuit of the Lyon midfielder Jean Makoun. That looks to be coming to some sort of conclusion, as we are hearing that the Midlands club have agreed a £6.5 million deal with Lyon for his services. Time for your messages, and Colders in Scotland wants news on who's going to be replacing Kenny Miller up at Rangers. Well, we think it's going to be David Goodwillie from Dundee United. Juan Camilo Blanco is in Bogota in Colombia. He wants to know if there's any interest from Arsenal in the Porto striker Radamel Falcao. No, there isn't. And just one more, because Dave is in Dundee, and he wants to know if there's any interest from Manchester United in Emmanuel Adebayor at City. That would be a bold one, wouldn't it? No, there isn't. Adebayor, will give you a bit more news on him a bit later on. European roundup time, and we start with Spain today, where Villarreal are hoping to clinch the signing of the Roma right-back Chichinho. We told you the other day about Bayern Munich striker Miroslav Klose wanting one last big move in order to put himself in the Germany picture for Euro 2012. Well, his people have offered him to Real Madrid, who are without a striker because of the injury which has put Gonzalo Higuain out for the rest of the season. The closest agent's a chap called Alexander Schwedt, and he's been talking out in Spain about the prospect of his man moving over there. The man in pole position, however, is indeed Adebayor. Madrid are seemingly happy to take on his £170,000 a week salary. Big spending Malaga really are making waves in the January transfer window in Spain. They've moved for the Barcelona defender Gabi Milito. Looks as though there's an agreement in principle on a €7 million deal there. Malaga have also gone in for the Sampdoria left-back Rito Ziegler and the Real Madrid midfielder Mohamedou Diarra. In Norway, Rosenborg and Sevilla negotiating a possible transfer for Anthony Annan this week. In France, Bordeaux want the Olympiacos striker Djibril Cissé, been doing very well indeed out in Greece. And out in Italy, AC Milan very keen on the Chelsea right-back Jose Bissingwa. We told you about that a bit earlier. Our friend Mike VP, who runs a sensible soccer blog in the USA, make sure you have a look at that. He's alerted us to the fact that Felipe Mexes, the defender who's out of contract in the summer at Roma, is more likely to sign a new deal than to move on. That's going to disappoint a lot of clubs, including the likes of Chelsea and Arsenal. And up in Scotland, Celtic have made a move for the Ecuador international Christian Benitez. Now let's take you back to the Premier League, and this is fascinating. Sir Alex Ferguson does like a player from the Far East, but the German club Borussia Dortmund have ruled out selling their coveted Japanese midfielder Shinji Kagawa, with the reports of interest from United and a host of other top European clubs. Kagawa joined Dortmund last summer from Japanese second division side Cesaro Osaka, and he's scored 8 goals in 17 games. But the Dortmund general manager is a chap called Hans-Joachim Watzke, and he's warned United of. He's been speaking to Stern magazine in Germany, and he said they can stop all of their efforts. Kagawa will not be sold. Definitely not. He's not for sale at any price, not now and not in the summer. We shall see. Now, there's been some significant interest from the Italian club Fiorentina in the Liverpool defender Daniel Agger. As you know, he's 26 and he's out of contract at the end of the season. Fiorentina's transfer market representative, whatever that is a chap called Bernardo Broravoni, and he's been speaking to Lady Radio out in Italy. This is what he's had to say. He said the Viola offered Liverpool's player 1.5 million euros per annum, but he wants 2 million euros per net a year. Also, we will have to wait and see what Liverpool say. Elsewhere, Mark Hughes would not be drawn at his press conference yesterday on whether Fulham are in for the Manchester City winger Sean Wright-Phillips, which obviously means yes, although I've got to tell you, Birmingham still bang there in the hunt for the pint-sized speedster. And Ian Holloway has confirmed Blackpool's interest in Barnsley's former Liverpool winger Adam Hamel, a very popular player indeed. The Wigan manager Roberto Martinez has dismissed reports linking Aston Villa with the Wigan pair Hugo Rodallega and Maynor Figueroa, which doesn't really mean too much because there hasn't yet been any offer for either player. But on a more serious note, expect Arsenal to step up their search for a central defender, as the word is Thomas Vermeulen's had an operation and he's going to be out for 3 months. Competition time, and still the entries are pouring in for our Premier League shirt competition. It's quite simple. There are 3 huge Premier League clashes on Sunday. Birmingham against Villa, Liverpool play Everton, and Spurs host Manchester United. We want to know the total number of goals that are going to be scored in all 3 games. So if it's 1-0 in the first game, 0-0 in the second, and 3-2 in the third, then the total number of goals is 6. Tell us the total number of goals in the 3 matches we've just told you. No other games count, and you will win the Premier League shirt of your choice. Lots of you have been in touch on our email, spy@mirror.co.uk. Jakobs from Arlington, USA, thinks there's going to be 7 goals scored in the 3 games. Tom's from Cambridge in England. He says, I think we'll see 3 tight games with only 5 goals scored in total, as all the home teams will be more concerned with not losing rather than going for the win. Payam Ahmadi's from Canada thinks there'll be 7 goals scored. Josh Greaves is from Manchester. He thinks there'll be 8 goals scored. He says, keep up the good work. The show's brilliant. Thank you very much indeed. On Twitter, Stockport13 thinks there'll be 8 goals this weekend. And on YouTube, MacSYNTV has been on. Of course, I remember you. He's in Florida, and he thinks there will be 12 goals in total. Liverpool Kelly has also been on from Sydney, Australia. Says, hi Darren, just like to say, well done. Your show is truly one of a kind. I'd like to predict 6 goals for the 3 games. Thanks very much indeed. Remember to include your shirt size and where you're getting in touch with us from when you enter. You can get in touch via email, Twitter, YouTube, Mirror Football or Facebook. The Football Spy is back on Monday. In the meantime, enjoy your football. We'll see you next time.